Sunil sir, it's almost 11.
Just wait, ma'am. Just 1 minute.
1 minute now.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can start, ma'am.
Thank you, Sunil sir. Good morning, dear friends. Welcome to the first session on day 5 of online faculty development program on advancing towards sustainable teaching, learning, and evaluation methods. Before we begin with the session, I would like to request everyone to rise up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you so much, everyone. Friends, though e-learning is not a new phenomenon, the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown implementation has shifted the whole education system to a virtual mode. Consequently, catering to the needs of all stages of education, right from pre-primary to university level, online education has emerged as an alternative to the traditional face-to-face classes. Accordingly, various stakeholders, including government, private organizations, edtech companies, are trying their best to support the education system with online platforms to help in the smooth transition to the virtual world. Online video conferencing platforms such as Zoom, Skype, Google Classroom are the prominent names for online teaching learning management tools. To know more about one of such tools, Google Classroom, and its application, we have amidst us Lakshmi Vedmad as a speaker to share her expertise and enlighten us. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming Madam and introducing her. Madam is an educationist with 10 years of experience in K-12 education system and 7 years of experience in the corporate. Currently, she is a faculty at the Somaya School. She has been awarded as a proficient teacher by Adhyayan for consecutive 2 years. She is also a certified facilitator from TIS. She possesses a strong educational background and is known for her commitment, planning, and innovative teaching techniques. She has conducted various training workshop sessions for teachers, students on soft skill, design thinking, problem-solving techniques, critical thinking skills, and many more. Madam, on behalf of KJ Somaya College of Arts and Commerce and Siddham Faculty Development Center, I, Mrs. Jasmine Rai, would like to welcome you and request you to kindly take over the session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone, and heartfelt thanks to KJ Somaya College of Arts and Commerce, Jasmine ma'am, for such a nice introduction. And I would really thank for this opportunity given to me to interact with all of you on the topic of Google Classroom. So as we begin, I would just want to welcome all of you. And this happens to be a hands-on session. So I shall be, of course, giving you the theoretical part of Google Classroom, but more so to do with the practical aspects, how to create a classroom and how to move on from there. So without wasting much time, I think let's begin. I'm just sharing my screen. So I'll be taking you through a few slides that I had prepared just to give you a general view of Google Classroom, and then we shall move on with the practical session. So here, while we're looking at Google Classroom, it happens to be one of the most sorted LMS platforms right now. And since it is backed up by Google, it is a very, very well integrated LMS system. And looking at how we would want to go ahead with the session, I would really want all of you to keep mute. I don't think I have to go through all this, but yes, a little input here that chat box is open for all of you to pass in your queries. And I shall be taking it post a little chunk of information. I shall be going back on the chat box for Q&A session. We also have lined up a Q&A session end of the presentation. So in case your question doesn't get answered, please feel free to ask your question at the end of the Q&A session. You can of course raise your doubt, raise your hand for any doubts while we are still going ahead, and if you've got stuck up somewhere, please feel free, because the number of participants are 143
Lakshmi
currently.
ma'am,
Yes.
sorry to disturb you, ma'am. Be a little louder, ma'am. Can I request you to be a little
Yeah,
louder?
sure. Is
Yeah.
this better?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
great,
Thank you so
great.
much.
Thank you. So while we are looking at 100, about approximately 125, 135 participants, I don't think raising hand would work that much, but still we will try to cater to all your questions. Video preferably, how you want to keep it, it's your preference. And we'll be giving you a tea break just about when my first chunk module is finished. That is approximately between 11:30 to 11:45. We shall break for 10 minutes and then we'll resume with the session. So that's just a bio break in between. So let's start. When we look at Google Classroom, I really would want you to uh, see a little poll that I've asked you for. How many of you have used Google Classroom? Now to get on to this poll, you will have to open a new tab, and the pollev.com, that's the website you go on, and the minute you click, it will ask you for a username. Please enter Lakshmi Ved 711 and you will get this question where you can vote. So I'll put the details in the chat box so that it's easier for everybody. So we'll start with this poll. So it is www.pollev.com. And once you reach this website, they will ask you for a username. That's where you can enter Lakshmi. It's all given on the screen. Lakshmi Ved 711. If you can all just show me a reaction button to tell me if you've all reached here, it'll be great so that we can see some polling happening here. Okay, wonderful. So 100% of you out of the respondents right now have shown me that they are aware of Google Classroom. Now, how many of them have used it? Yes, we've all used it. Okay, great. So we'll wait for just another minute so that we can see the other responses and then we can move on. So we'll wait for a minute for responses. Okay, we do have a few people putting it in the chat box that they have not used Google Classroom. That's fine because this is the purpose of this workshop that we are able to take you forward in finally using this Google Classroom. Great. So the ones who cannot reach the poll, it's okay if you've given me in the chat box. That works easily, equally. Great. So if I can see in the chat box also, I see about 75 to 80% have used Google Classroom, and I do see 25% of them giving me a no there. That's all right. So I will move on with the session. Great. Okay. So today's agenda will be, of course, benefits of the Google Classroom, how to create a Google Classroom. After that, we'll be looking at the Google homepage. We'll take a break. Then I'll take you through a live session of how a Google Classroom is done. And after that, from point number 7 till point number 9, that is adding of people, setting up of the classroom, creating assignments, announcements, looking at the feedback, all that will be more so to do with a hands-on session, because I would really want all of you end of this session to be aware how a Google Classroom is created, and post that how to manage a Google Classroom, because creating is just one step away, but managing becomes a little more tedious. Great. So I will try to use both bilingual language while I'm continuing with the session. So Hindi and English दोनों का इस्तेमाल करूंगी. जहाँ पे भी आपको लगे you need clarification, आपको जहाँ पे भी थोड़ी सी और ज़रूरत हो queries को sort out करने की, please आप मुझे पूछ लीजिएगा. So Google Classroom, of course, is a virtual classroom. The way I would describe it, बिल्कुल पेपरलेस है. इट इज़ वेरी इजी, कहीं से भी एक्सेस कर सकते हैं आप इसको, मोबाइल से, टैब से, डेस्कटॉप से, कहीं से भी एक्सेस कर सकते हैं. एंड एक तरह देखा जाए तो टीचर्स, कंटेंट और स्टूडेंट्स के बीच में जो कनेक्शन है, इट इज़ अ वेरी वेरी स्मूथ कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट. सो आई हैव आल्सो बीन टीचिंग थ्रू आउट, एंड जब से हम लोगों ने वर्चुअल क्लासरूम में शिफ्ट किया, आई थिंक गूगल क्लासरूम हैज़ अ ह्यूज लॉट ऑफ बेनिफिट्स. So it is not just a virtual classroom. If I look at the benefits, it's a very simple to use tool. It has a visually, of course, aesthetically appeal. Communication at any point of time, 24/7 communication hai. You can go back, explain, come back, and it's a double two-way communication that's happening in the Google Classroom. It's a free app. You're not paying anything for it. It's a free Google app. Integration, because it is a Google app, it gets very smoothly integrated into Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Quiz, Google Drive, Google Drawing. Everything gets embedded very easily just because it is from the Google background. Then again, efficiency, I would say it's very efficient. The kind of communication that I've had through Google Classroom, I think we have a lot more to explore in terms of LMS packages. So while we begin, I would really want all of you to have a desktop or a laptop accessible. And if you have that, I have just tried to show you where all can you access the Google Classroom. Google Classrooms are accessed as a Google app. Now, most of the time, अगर आप अपने email web page खोलेंगे Google search का, आपको यहाँ पे ये 9 dots दिखते हैं. Those are the Google apps. The minute you click them, आपको Google Classroom वहाँ पे दिखता है. Suppose you don't get Google Apps here, because if it is not been used by you, आपको वो यहाँ recent apps में नहीं दिखेगा. Then you will type Google Classroom on Google search bar, that is my point number 3, and reach the home page for Google Classroom. This is how the icon of the Google Classroom is, and this is how you can reach up here. Okay. In between my sessions, I will be please taking a thumbs up reaction from you. Wherever I can see a majority looking at a thumbs up, I will proceed. So this is what we need to do while creating. So this is how we reach Google Classroom. And to create, you get this plus sign here. So here I will want to just stop my share, and on our please show of thumbs up if you can just let me if you are able to reach Google Classroom. After that, I will take on a live session here. So that will be great if you can all show me a thumbs up from the reaction button, so that I know all of you are with me, because this being a hands-on session, I would really want all of you to please let me know whether you are with me. Okay, great. So after this, I'm going on a live session, so you can look at how I am creating a classroom while you are doing it yourself. Two things are very important here. If your education institute has a G Suite account, an education account, if it's a setup or a domain name is given to you, like Somaya has Somaya domain name. So we have a domain in the education website. Then your Google link, Google Classroom is definitely available. Use your ऑफिशियल ईमेल आईडी इन दैट केस, अगर आप ऑफिशियली क्लासरूम बना रहे हैं. अगर आप अपना प्राइवेट क्लासरूम बना रहे हैं तो आप प्राइवेट ईमेल यूज करेंगे. कौन सा ईमेल यूज कर रहे हैं इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और जो ईमेल आप यूज करेंगे वही ईमेल, सपोज आप अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन का डोमेन नेम यूज कर रहे हैं, देन योर पार्टिसिपेंट्स विल ओनली बी फ्रॉम योर इंस्टीट्यूट डोमेन नेम. फिर आप आउटसाइड योर डोमेन से पार्टिसिपेंट्स नहीं ले सकते, स्टूडेंट्स को नहीं इनरोल कर सकते. एंड इफ इट इज अ प्राइवेट ईमेल देन यू कैन ऑफ कोर्स इनरोल पीपल फ्रॉम योर प्राइवेट, जिनके भी प्राइवेट जीमेल अकाउंट्स हैं. ओके, so I will just all those who are accessing Google Classroom from a mobile, so आपको Google Classroom app download करना पड़ेगा, and थोड़ा सा different होगा than how we are doing it, that is on the mobile app, but the features are the same. Okay, so now I'll be sharing the live screen, and here I'm opening a new classroom with all of you. You can all see here. This is my home page, and I'm just going up to the Google Apps from there. And this is a private email ID that I'm using, because majority of you, I thought I'll prefer a private email ID right now. But if you have a domain name, then you will put your domain email ID. You go to Classrooms here and click on Classrooms. The minute you click on Classrooms, you get this basic screen. Now all these reflections are the classes that I am a part of or the ones that I have created. But we can ignore that for now. If it is the first time you're making a Google Classroom, you will get this blank. After that, you reach on this right hand side top corner plus, which says join a class or create a class. Join a class means as a teacher, I can be a co-teacher in another class. But create a class means more to do with me owning the class. So I am a class teacher. So I will start with creating a class right now. Then I will tell you how to join a class. So when you create a class, it gives you the first disclaimer that are you using an education domain or are you using a private. So all that privacy, you can just say read and understand and continue there. Once you continue, your class name is required. Now this is important because whatever name you give will reflect as the main heading of your classroom. So if I'm giving a classroom name, so you can all choose a name right now. I would sincerely advise all of you to be with me while we are doing it. That will give you a lot of experience and all your queries will get sorted. So if I'm saying a training, and currently I'm making a dummy classroom, so I will say training dummy. That's the name of my classroom. Section, I can here give a subcategory. This will also reflect, if you can see the background of my classrooms, training, and after that there are subtopics. So this is like a subtopic that will appear on the main panel. So choose it properly. I would say it is for KJ Somaya College, so I'm putting it there. Subject, of course, if I want to give one, room if I want to give one. Subject and room will not appear anywhere on the panel. So you can choose to ignore it or give it. But ideally, a student or any other teacher will make more sense if the class name is clearly mentioned and the section could be your name of your subject also. So you can look at that. Okay. Yeah. So once I fill up these two basics, I can say create a classroom. And I click on create. I'm trying to keep this a little slow that all of you can be with me. And I say create a classroom. And once I create a classroom, it takes almost a split second to start a classroom. Is my screen visible to all? Okay, so this is the dummy classroom that I have created. Now, I'm just pausing for a minute here. I'm just stopping the screen share for a minute. Can I see a thumbs up if all of you have reached the creation of a classroom and you've reached the basic home page of the classroom? That will be great if you can show me a thumbs up. Okay, so the ones who are with me, wonderful. It's very easy. You have to just go click on the plus button and say create. For the rest of you, in case there is, I'm seeing a lot of yes in the chat box. So instead of the reaction button, if you choose to give it in the yes, that would be great. Okay, cool. So I'm starting again. So this is when I create the classroom. This is how I look at the classroom. Now, some things have to be, all of you need to know these few vocabulary and icons that are here. And it's very simple to understand. Whatever we had entered as the class name has appeared on the front panel as the training dummy. Whatever I entered after that has entered as KJS. So that was the section that I had entered. So these two are the most important. The class code is an auto-generated code by Google. So here, if you just press on this display button, it shows you the class code on a zoomed, and from here you can pick it up and copy. I will tell you the use of the class code. Mostly it is used to add participants. So you can share this code with anyone and all of you can act. For example, currently I can share this with all of you here. So if I share this code with all of you, you will get an invite. You can click on this and directly enter the code and enter the classroom. That is one way of participants or students entering your classroom. But there is another securer way which I would just lead you to. When you look at this panel, it has something which says select a theme. That is nothing but just the aesthetic. So if I click on select, it gives me a lot of options according to the subjects or any other options. This is a aesthetic display. So I can just pick up any of these and say select the class theme, and you will see the class theme getting changed. I can choose to upload a photograph. If your institute is looking for branding and they want the Google Classrooms to be branded with the school logos or the institute logos or the university logos, then you can look at uploading a photograph. You'll have to save it on your desktop and then pick it up from your computer. Currently, I don't have a picture that I can put up here, but this option is very well available. So you can just upload it from your computer desktop or anywhere in the computer. So these are the two things where these are just the panel introduction. Okay, now if you go up, you will see stream, classwork, people, and grades. These are the four major topics that we have in a Google Classroom. But before we reach the four main topics or the four main parts of a Google Classroom, I would want you to look at the left-hand panel which says main menu close to the name. And when you look at the main menu, just click on that. You will get a list of all the classes that are available. You also get the things that you have to review. So it's like a reminder to the teachers that this work has been submitted by students and it's time for you to review them. So those reminders are there. All the work that you assign comes and syncs with your Google Calendar. So you do get that Google Calendar work there. But if you go down, you will also see it gives you a to-do list and all the classes that I am a part of, right? And after that, it goes down to the last button, which is the settings button. Now here, I would want all of you to be a little, more attentive towards the settings button, because this will determine how your year-long classroom will work. And I will also tell you where we messed up big time sometimes. I gave in enable to a lot of options because initially we were all doing hit and trial. So it's only after that we started to get formal training. So these are the things, then we realized that we were very, very careful. You can add a profile picture, which I don't think is needed. Of course, there is an option of doing it in your formal classrooms, but going below that, notifications. Receive email notifications. Now, when I say email notifications, there is a disable and an enable button there. If you see, I can disable them or I can enable it. I have enabled all the email notifications. This means that all the notifications of me posting assignments in the class, or my co-teachers posting any announcement or assignments in the class, or students submitting their work, I get notifications in my folder, in my email updates. Okay. Um, yeah. So I've just received a message in the chat box which says that could not join. Okay, so give me a minute. I will take you back and I'll give you the option of joining. Let me just explain this and I will show you the code again for you to join. Okay. So notifications for email means if you are enabling it, all forms of notifications will reach your updates folder in your mailbox. And this is the mail from which you have opened your box. Okay, while we go down, the other one says, the ones who are using a mobile, I would advise first time when you're creating a class, आप पहले उसको डेस्कटॉप पे क्रिएट करो और फिर उसका ऐप मोबाइल पे लेके वहां से आप मैनेज कर सकते हो अपनी क्लास, बट क्रिएटिंग में आपको ये सेटिंग्स के ऑप्शन मोबाइल पे नहीं मिलेंगे. सो आइडियली आई वुड सजेस्ट जो भी मोबाइल से कर रहा है, फर्स्ट टाइम जब आप क्रिएट कर रहे हैं उसको आप लैपटॉप से लीजिए. ओके, सो मूविंग ऑन, कमेंट्स. नाउ Google Classroom में एक बहुत अच्छा फीचर है that if I have posted something on the Google Classroom, other people means the students and the coach teachers, they can all comment on that. Now I have, the minute I post something, अगर मैं उसको open रखती हूँ for all the students and participants to start commenting, तो वो comment का ही, जैसे हमारे chat box में होता है ना, stream up होते जाते हैं messages, तो important messages miss हो जाते हैं. So ideally I keep this off, disabled, because as a school system, I would not want my students to comment on my post, because I'm sending them serious work like announcements, important announcements, assignments. But at a college level, you can make a choice if you want the students to comment back. But comment में बहुत ज़्यादा messages upload हो जाते हैं, and then the important message gets mixed. So this is one thing which ideally you should disable. आप इसको disable रखिए. Comments that mention you, अगर मेरा नाम कहीं पे tagged है, उसमें आपको comment चाहिए, I don't think I need a comment, so I will keep it disabled. This is all your preference. Private comments on work, again I would not ideally want it for now. अब मैं जो आपको picture दे रही हूँ is from a K-12 system, which is a very structured system. While all of you are from colleges, you would not want to keep this switched on. That is your option. Classes that you are enrolled in, so you would want teachers and work from other classes, work and other post from teachers. Yes, I will want that. I want to return grades from other teachers. Okay, I can enable. I will explain कि क्या करते हैं कि जैसे एक बच्चा पोस्ट करता है, आपके पास ऑप्शन होगा, आप भी उसको ग्रेड करके दे सकते हो वापस. तो ये ऑप्शन हमारे, we keep it enabled. Invitation to join classes as a student. I also would want to be a student, because in our structure, we also have a training classroom. So that training classroom is led by the trainer and all the other teachers are students to that. So yes, of course, I would want that option. I want due date reminders for your work. Yes, now this is important and I would want to enable it. While I'm taking you through, I'm also, okay, great. So, while I'm taking you through, I would also want you to keep looking at it, read it and see whether you want to enable it or disable it. Because my perspective is from a very structured institute. As a college level, there would be a little tweaking that you would need there. Classes you teach, this mandatorily, I would want to enable all this, right from late submission of student work. Yes, I would want to see which all students who all have given me late work or submitted late. Resubmission, sometimes a student has not sent me material the way it was required, so I would want the student to resubmit. Yes, I would enable that option. I would also invite to co-teach classes. So this is when one teacher has 2 or 3 classes to teach and other 2 or 3 teachers are also overlapping subjects, so I would of course want those invitations to reach me. And scheduled, post, published or failed, I would want notification for that also. Class notifications, Now here, turn email. So mostly all the notifications will reach my email account. So this is about the settings. I'm just stopping a share in case you have a doubt till now, or if you would want me to look at anything, you want me to take it back anywhere, please let me see, and I will just share the code again. Yes, you can unmute and ask me a doubt in case you have till now of creating and using the settings.
Madam, I have
Yes.
put it in the chat also. I cannot see that feature of class you are enrolled in. I can see only these two features of class you teach and comments, class you teach and class notifications.
Ma'am, are you from using a desktop for this?
Yes.
And is it your private email ID?
No.
It's your official email ID?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so your official educational domain might have made some settings.
Okay.
That could be
Hello,
the only
ma'am.
reason.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yes,
Hello,
Dr.
ma'am.
Chandrasekhar.
I am Dr. Chandrasekhar from Maharashtra,
Yes.
Parlivadyanath, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
when we start to creating classroom, then setting,
Right.
you said in setting that the first option that when we start to rename our classroom name. Hello,
Right.
are you getting me, ma'am?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we put our class name and
Yes.
then only two things are showing on that only. I have created
Right.
the theater group, drama
Okay.
theater group, theater in
Right.
education, and only the two names are showing on that front.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible to show students' name also in that?
No,
Please.
student names will be reflected in another column that I will take you. This is just like the main door of your classroom. This is the first panel or the nameplate of your classroom. So
Yeah.
this panel will not show you the names, but I will just take you through how to see the names also.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, madam. Do you want us to create a similar dummy classroom that you're doing, like training dummy with
I would
KGS?
really want, because all of you are active faculty into institutes, so
Right.
you should be aware of how to create a classroom.
Can
So
we
I would,
also?
yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, madam. Can we
No,
also
please.
do? We have some existing classrooms, so can we try the settings that you're explaining in the existing ones, or you want me to create a new one?
I would really suggest you create a new one, because
Okay, madam.
existing settings, please do not disturb, because
Sure,
that must
madam.
be a functional classroom.
Right, madam. Thank you.
Madam, even
Yes.
on my personal, I tried it on my personal Google Classroom on my personal account. The
Yes,
same,
ma'am.
I'm getting the same notification, which is
Okay,
saying
ma'am.
that you are not enrolled. Yeah, that students thing is not there.
Okay, so ma'am, can we hold it for the tea break? Then I will take your query one-on-one. Because settings should ideally have all this.
Yeah.
Until and unless your domain name has made some previous settings, but otherwise all these settings are available. That's why I picked up my personal ID to show you how a classroom is made. But in case your query is not solved, we'll take it in the tea break in another 10-15 minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Madam,
you.
I think even I have a similar problem because the number of settings that is showing in your this thing is not the same here. Probably, like you said, the domain that we are working on, the institute's domain, probably they
Yes,
have made the
because
same.
I have used a private email ID right now.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Having said that, these settings are not going to hamper the smooth functioning of your classroom at any point of time.
Hello, ma'am. Namaste.
Yes. Namaste.
Ma'am, I have laptop and I'm attending the session from laptop, and mobile I'm doing that. And as you said, no, I just created a Google Classroom in the laptop itself, and again I'm using my mobile phone. And in here I have two classrooms. That is,
Yes.
as per your instructions, I created that training dummy. It's my own. There are no
Okay.
people. That means students are not there in that. And
Yes.
once I joined your class, and whatever the students you allowed in, I'm in that. Shall I
Yes.
continue both, ma'am? Shall I remove my personal training dummy classroom, ma'am?
No. You can continue with your personal classroom also. For me, I just wanted you to see the look of it from a student's view, which I will again take you. So don't worry, stick to one classroom. That is your classroom.
So I need not to join the classroom which you created just now.
Not right now.
Okay, ma'am. Because in that, no, there are 7 people are there. That's the reason I want.
Yes. That's all right. So we will just send a few dummy assignments to them and see how they are responding. That we will do a trial online in front of everybody. Great. So if we have no more doubts, can we move on?
Excuse
I have.
me, ma'am. Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Ma'am. Chandrasekhar. Okay, sorry for
Sir, your
that.
audio is
I
not
have
very clear.
opened that.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Dr. Chandrasekhar, can you please repeat the question? Your audio was not clear. Okay, so anyways, we can wait for that question again. Yes, so
Hello. Ma'am.
sir, I would advise if you can, I will
ma'am.
suggest if you can put your question in the chat box because your audio is still not very clear.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Okay.
Okay, so while we are looking at these options, there is one thing that I would really want to point out. In school scenario, in a K-12 system, we have one class teacher and then I add on subject teachers. In a college scenario, you would want to use one classroom for one first year students, another classroom for second year students, or if there is a teacher overlap, suppose there is a business communication subject where different streams, arts, commerce, science, all of them collately join together for business studies, then the business studies teacher, business communication teacher can make a separate classroom and send invites to her students from various backgrounds. So that input has to be discussed with your institute, how you would want to create. You can go subject wise or teacher wise, or you can go first year, second year, third year, or you can go stream wise, arts, science, commerce. So like this, you can differentiate those classes. Okay. Great. So after this, any form of queries can be put up in the chat box, and let's begin with the settings of the classrooms. We have done the settings. Now if I move out from the settings and just go back, now these settings were all saved. Now look at the home screen page of your, this is your classroom, how it looks. Stream is the first part of your classroom. Now if you look at the top panel, it is showing you 4 distinct things. One is stream, one is classwork, one is people, and one is grades. Now before you begin with any of this, you have to add people to your classroom. You have to add the students. So go on people first. And when you go on people, there are 2 options. The first option is you join, let your sub-teachers or co-teachers join. So you can click and then add them by their names or emails. So if you are using, if you have saved their email IDs in your contact list, you can add the names. Now, the subject teachers can do everything what your class teacher can do, or your the creator of the classroom can do. They have equal rights. The maximum number of teachers who can join in a classroom is not more than 20. So after 20, it stops taking in teachers. Whereas students up to 250 on a private account can be added as students. So that is how teachers are added. When you move to students, now students can be added in 2 ways. Now this is where you can pick up the code from the main panel. So if you go on your main panel, you had a code, you can share that code. But sometimes to maintain the privacy, it makes more sense to add them via their email IDs. So you just say invite students and you type in your name. You can send the link to them, or you type in their names or email IDs and send the invite button. Suppose I'm adding myself only here, just to let you know how it works. So I cannot add my Somaya email ID here. So I'm just adding another dummy of my email IDs and I say invite. Now the person I've invited will get an update email notification saying that so-and-so is inviting you to join a classroom. And the minute you say accept, you will be able to join. The other way is you send in a link. Click on this, I also get an invite link over here. I just copy paste it and send them on WhatsApp or however I want to communicate to my students. Now all these 2 people are the ones who have joined it right now from my current training. So that's great. So all of you have joined using the link. Now once your students are there and your teachers are there, you're ready to take on your class. Okay. I'm just pausing for a minute to see if anybody has okay, Preeti is asking me if you can tell us how to reach the link. So once you reach people, Once you reach people, you go to students, click on invite students. The minute you click, it gives you both the options, whether you want to invite them via this link. So you can just copy paste this link, or you want to type out their name or email IDs. So the minute you give your email ID of the student and you send an invite, the student will receive a mail over there. Okay, so that was one question. Ma'am, how do you delete old Google Classroom as it's mandatory set by our colleges using? Okay, how to delete previous classrooms? Yes, I will show you. I will show you how to delete the previous classrooms. Okay, so once this is done, your people have been added and your basic settings are done. We move to the back page, that is the main page. So every time you open a classroom, this is the stream page that always comes in. Now, whenever you get the stream page, anything that's been sent by anybody in terms of class comments. Now, I had not disabled class comments. That's why I have students writing in here. Had I disabled the class comments, no student, no participant in terms of student could have been able to use the comments. So when I have to stream something means anything and everything that I send will be updated here. And this is also the window that is seen by the students. The first thing they open their classroom is they see this. So any announcement that needs to go can be done here. Anything that you put in the classroom will also get updated here. So this is like your one and all and first page of your classroom. And all your latest news and news feeds are available here. While you look at this, I will just want you to see how we are going to post a small stream. It says share something. If you go back here, it says share something. Now when it says share, it is asking me for who all. So I want to, which classroom am I sharing it? So multiple classrooms. Now these are all my classrooms. I can share the same message across 5 classrooms or 10 class. So all my announcements, like 15th August is a holiday. Now that announcement can be, I can take all my classrooms for all my students. Of course, that option, I don't have students in the other classrooms. And I can say, dear all. So I'm just typing it. That 15th August is a holiday. While I've typed my message, I again get 2 or 3 options here, which I really want all of you to see. The first option is I can immediately post it up. The second is I can save it as a draft. The third option is also if I have to schedule this. But the schedule, if you see here, I'm getting it as gray. That means I can't use that icon right now. The reason being, schedule can only happen if I choose one classroom here. So if I remove the other classrooms, then I will be able to schedule my, now can you see, schedule is appearing here. So this is how an announcement is made. Now suppose I have made an announcement, but I also want to attach the circular which is showing that 15th August is a holiday. I can just click on add and I can add it from the drive. I can add. Now these are the common options you get for attachments. Google Drive, Google Link, a file option that is from your system, or you get a YouTube option. So any of this you can pick up. Suppose I just want to pick up a file. It says I can pick up from my recent, from my upload from my system, from my drive, or anything that I've starred mark. So any of these options are available. So you just have to pick up and add it here. And once I'm sure that I want to post it, that means immediately it will start to show to the students. So here I post it. So all the people who have joined will see it immediately. And how my page also gets updated. So I see, okay, Lakshmi has posted something on at 11:43, which says 15th August is a holiday. Now, if you see this small icon, this is because I have now not disabled the class comment. So anybody can pass a comment here. If you can see this. So I'm just pausing it for a minute here. Please let me know if thumbs up, please, if you've all understood the stream page. I will show you what are the options of scheduling also right now. Okay, great. So stream is nothing but immediate news feed that you get. So all basic announcements where you want to reach out either to one class or to many classes, some students or all students, all that can be done on the stream page itself. Great. So going back here, I also had this option of posting something. For example, I say 16th August. Suppose my message just says 16th is a Sunday. Now that's a message that I want to give to my students. Now these are all dummy announcements that I'm making. So if I'm saying 16th is a Sunday, but instead of posting it today being a Friday, I want to post it tomorrow. So that I don't want to pre-announce it. I just want them to know that tomorrow they come to know. So what I'm going to do is not post, sorry. So I can just go and edit back. So I'm going to say, sorry, I just posted that by mistake. So I'm going to write it again. So when I'm saying 16th is a holiday, I want to post it tomorrow. I want the students to read it tomorrow and not today. So I'll schedule it for a later day. So once I click there, I get the option of schedule. Schedule option doesn't appear if you have picked up more than one class. So it only appears for one class at a time. So I go and schedule it there and I give them a date and time of schedule. So I will say on 15th August at 8 a.m. please schedule. So this announcement will straight away go as saved announcements. That means it has been scheduled for a later date. Sometimes what happens, you've made an announcement, like I made an announcement by mistake and I realized it. Oh, that was a huge mistake and I want to edit it. So I can go on these three buttons over here, click on those three buttons and just say edit. I have the option of even deleting that post, but edit for now. And I say no, not 16th, maybe 18th. So I just make that edit here and I say save. So immediately the edit gets saved here. Can you see the change here? It gets saved here. Stream page, any announcements that you want to make will go on the stream page. You have the options of making an announcement for one class or many classes. If you pick up many classes, you do not get the schedule option. You can pick up, again, if you pick one class, you can choose the students you want to send it to. Suppose you are holding an extra class for just 10 students. Then I'm just picking up these, or maybe I don't want to hold a class for these three. So I just do not pick them up in the stream. So these three kids will not get my message. And then I write something. So it will start showing you that out of 30 kids or whatever, out of 32 kids, 29 are only getting the message. And then you can say whatever you want to. There is a class scheduled on so and so date. Now, since in my school we are using Zoom as the platform for interaction, so all our class announcements go on the stream page. So whatever is the timetable goes here. So that's another way of using the stream page. Apart from announcements, all your next classes go here. If you are using an institutional email ID or an education domain, you will also see a Gmeet, your Google Meet link appearing on your main panel. So that can be used to generate. Since it is a private email ID, I am not able to show you the Google Meet icon. So this is how your stream page works. We are going to take a break in the next 2 minutes while I explain the reposting here. And after that, we are good to go with stream page. So you also have an option. Now suppose I'm just saying, suppose I need to make an announcement, but instead of me writing the whole announcement, I just want to pick up a previous post and then just repost it. That is the option of reposting that you're getting here. It says reuse the post. So when I say reuse the post, it gives me a huge option of which are the classes that I want to reuse it from, which teacher's post do I want to reuse. For example, sometimes another teacher, subject teacher has already made that announcement in the class. You can just pick that up from there and post it here. Now currently it's taking a little time. So I'll just show you in a class where I have more matter to show you. This is a dummy class. I don't have too much of material to show you here. So I'll take you into my own classroom where you can see how reusing of post works. at any point of time you want to still edit your saved announcements, you can go on saved and you can either delete it or just click on that. It will again ask you. So I can probably change whatever I want to here, make an attachment here. Schedule can also be changed and then I reschedule it. All that can be done on the saved one also. Even if you've posted something, you can go and edit it back with these three dots here. So while we are done with the stream part of it, I shall take a break. I advise all of you to take a break for 10 minutes and then we can join back at 12 o'clock where I'll be taking you through, no, maybe 11:55, please be here so that another 5-7 minutes, then I take you through the classwork and the grade part of the classroom. So this is a 10-minute break while I handle a few queries here. Meera ma'am has asked me, ma'am, can I have a live interaction with class on Gmeet and share study content on Google Classroom? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Meera ma'am. You can do that. Okay. I just want to move on to see if there are any other sessions. In another 5 minutes, we will resume. So in case you want to take a small tea break, please feel free. Yes, Preeti ma'am, are you still, you want me to show you the link? I will. Okay. Okay, great. So in case you have any queries, ma'am, we cannot send in, Amanpreet ma'am, we cannot send in audio messages currently. You will have to use a Google extension. So there are a lot of these small softwares that are available. And one of them, Google extensions, you have to download them. And once you do that, then you will be able to send audio messages also. Dr. Chandrasekhar, I'll just take your message. How to post study material? Yes, sir, I will be doing it after the break. Live, Dr. Prashant, live, I didn't get your question. Okay, live class is not possible. No, sir, this is a classroom where you are collating all your resources, your data, your written communication. Live classes cannot be held in a Google Classroom. You will have to either link it with your Gmeet or with Zoom or any other interactive platform.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, ma'am. I have created my personal private classroom.
Yes, sir.
But there is no Google Meet option.
Private will not give you Google Meet. It has to be from an education domain that you will get a Google Meet option.
Yes, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Private will not give you. Sir, so I am also closing my video and audio for another 3 minutes. And then we'll join back at about 11:55. Thank you.
I request the participants to put their queries in the chat box, please.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. I just feel it was just enough for you to sip a little bit of tea and come back. So it's 11:55. Let's get on with the session again. Can you please show me a thumbs up if you're all here? Because it's already 11:55. Yes. Great. So now looking at a few questions that have come in, the only question I would want to pick up right now is Dr. Chandrasekhar, what is the function of stream? The stream is like your first common page where all the news feed, all the information, everything, whether it is an assignment that's been posted or any announcement that's been made, everything comes here. So that is the use of the stream page. And it is also the first opening page where students are able to see everything. So they don't have to go here and there to find out what is the announcement, what is the classwork, what is the homework, what is the material attached. So everything is reflected here in the stream page. Any updates made are reflected here. Okay, great. So let's move on.
Thank you.
Welcome. So let's move on with the session. So till now we've understood how stream works, and looking at stream, this is mostly used for direct announcements if you want to make, and your classwork will always get updated on stream. So that will also come in, and it will come in as Lakshmi has posted a classwork in so and so subject. That is updated. Okay, so moving on to next option, and this is the most interesting option, that is the classwork. Now this is where you will understand how material is sent to the students. Now classwork shows you these three options here. Google Calendar, it is synced with the classroom. So the minute I enter a due date in my assignment, my Google Calendar and the students' Google Calendars will start showing them as reminders. So that is how it is. You don't have to make any manual entries here. It is in sync and it gets updated. So when you're looking at an assignment, what are the kind of assignments normally you send to the students? Either they can be videos that you're sending to them. They could be Word documents that you're sending. They could be PDF that you're sending. It could be Google Docs, slides, PowerPoints, YouTube links, or links for any other reading material. So those are the kind of assignments. And of course, at K-12 level, we do send them a lot of worksheets. But majority, this is the medium of assignments that go in. Now looking at these assignments, this is how your assignment page, the classwork looks. And when you go to create, your create gives you a lot of options here. Now first thing, as the teacher who's created this classroom needs to be sure whether she wants to make a folder for each topic. If yes, then you straight away go to topics and you add a topic there. So your topics for your first year science could be chemistry, bio, physics, or it could be engineering, computer, maths. So then whenever the assignment is made or any material is posted or any classwork is given, the teacher just has to pick up the topic and make sure that the assignment reaches that folder. That's very important because after some time there'll be so much of chaos. So if your folders are not in place, you will not be able to see the assignments in a very structured fashion. Okay, so while we look at creating assignments, first option is giving you assignment. I will just tell you the difference here. All formats of Google, since it's an integration with Google, all your Google Forms, your Google Drawings, your Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Docs, everything can be created here also. So the option is either you create an assignment or create a material and keep it on your system, or you can otherwise create one here also. Now, there is a quiz assignment. Sometimes you just want to excite the kids and put up a quiz question or make a quiz right away. So there is a quiz assignment option. A question is an open-ended question. Now this will only function if the settings had student comments on. So if I post a question, do you think the vaccine for COVID will come out in the next 3 months? Now that's an open question you're posting to your class. Here, if the students are enabled to comment, only then will they comment. And this question always appears on the stream. So that is a little you have to keep in mind. So when you post a question, it will directly go on to stream, and then individual correction becomes a little difficult there. Moving on, there is material option. Now, how is a material different from an assignment? Material is that you are sending, it's one way. You are sending material, but students are not able to give you any work in return. Assignment is when you are sending material plus asking them to do a task, and they will revert back. So the option of them uploading something is available in assignment and not in material. That is the difference. The options of attachment, what are the things that get attached, is the same. And then again, reuse post, which I will show you in my own live class. So currently, let's start with the simplest one, that is make an assignment. So the minute you click on make an assignment, this is how your assignment page looks. So you give in a title. For example, the title that I would want to give is probably computers, and maybe the subtopic also. Till you do not give in the title, the option of assigning will not come in. So the minute you say, okay, it's computer introduction, and after that instructions again, which is optional. You want them to read some material, you want them to do a research, you want them to study 5 or 6 journals and then come back and make their own project. All those instructions can be given here. Then you say add. Add option gives you the option of, again, whether you want to add some material from your Google Drive. You want to, for example, I say add material. Now I want to upload it from my drive. I'll probably browse something. If I get something, I can. So here it's picking my desktop up. And if I look at the desktop, I will say, okay, I want to pick up some, any one folder that I'm picking up. This is a dummy folder that I've picked up right now. And I say, okay, it starts to upload. And once, sorry, it's, okay. So I can upload using my drive. Wait, I think my internet just slowed down, so that took a little minute or so. So I can just pick up anything that I want to from my system, and it will upload. Server is rejecting because I'm using my personal email ID here. But all of you can just try this on. You can easily upload any of this material here. Let me do it from my recent material. So if I just pick up this and say, okay, this is what I want to upload. So this is how it picks up here. Once it picks up, you get an option. Now this is a very important option. There are certain type of assignments where you want each one of them to get one sheet. Suppose there is a form filling, or you've made a questionnaire or a question paper, and you want each one of them to write the answers there in that document. Then you're going to say, students make a copy for each student. Now this is important here. When you say students can edit the file, all the 200 students will start editing the same document, which will not function. So make a copy for individual students. So that is what I've created. I can choose to give instructions here. The other important thing is, which class am I giving to? Am I giving it to multiple classes? Then I can tick. Again, whenever you choose multiple classes, you will not be able to schedule the assignment. So it's a single class. I have a choice of picking up all students or just a few students here. I can probably just randomly make 3 or 4 students not get the assignment. This is selective. Suppose I want to give a higher order thinking assignment to only 6 of them and a normal assignment to 30 of them. Then I can make the choice here of the assignment. Do I want to give them points, or you want it to be ungraded? For me, if it is ungraded, it is good enough. And then due date. So the minute I put up a due date, I can select it from the calendar. The timing is again optional, but sometimes we don't go into that kind of details. So you can just select the due date. Topic is what we had created. So if the topics were not created, I can right now create a topic and say this is my computers topic. Rubric options, there are 2 available. One option is you can make your rubric, store it on your desktop and can be picked up for assessments. The other is already, so if I say if you click on this, you can create a rubric, you can reuse a previously used rubric, or you can pick up something that you've made on Google Sheets. Now when you make a rubric on Google Sheets, that can be easily used for grading. So looking at all these options, I will say, okay, when I am going to assign, there are again 3 options available. I can choose to assign it right away, then it will appear in the stream page. I can choose to schedule it for a later date, maybe next week, next Friday, I want to give them. I can just save draft. I thought this was a good assignment. I've made it. I've kept it on my system. The day I feel I want to use it, I will use it. So those options are there. And of course, discarded. I'm putting it as assign. That means currently you'll all be able to see the assignment. So once this is assigned, my assignment is over.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse
Yes.
me, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes.
Hello. Sorry, ma'am. Excuse
Yes,
me. You said there are there is a points ungraded. I have
Yes.
done ungraded, so
Yes.
there is 100 points, ma'am. So how can we back 100 points?
That can be
how can
reduced
we
to
put 100
any
points?
number
There is
that you
not.
enter. No, sir, you can enter any number there. So once you create, you can put 5 marks, 10 marks, 25 marks, 30 marks. Any number can be put. 100 is a
So it
default
would be
number that
saved.
is showing.
It would. Okay,
I'll
okay,
just,
okay. Thank you,
yeah,
ma'am.
that's
Thank
just
you.
a default number. Okay. So when I go back on my stream, when I go back, the assignment is being posted here. Now all the students who were there, yeah. So this is the assignment that I had done, and I say assign. So the minute I assign this assignment, the students will start seeing it on the stream page. And I get to see it like this. The icon of assignment is like this, and I get to see that so-and-so has posted a new assignment. If I click on it, I will be able to see the details of this assignment. Now it is showing me the details. This is a teacher version. This is showing me how a assignment will look. What were the instructions I gave in, and what is the student doing about it. Okay. So this is how an assignment is made. But if the same thing I had to make a material, because I want you to know the difference between material and assignment. If I want to create a material, again, I put down the topic. Topic is very important because otherwise it will not give you options here. And I can add whatever link I want to. I can also create. Create means it will link me to Google Apps, docs, slides, sheets. I can create it there and then also. Once I add something, can you see on the right hand side the number of options have reduced because it is a material, and the material icon looks like this. So again, the choice is there. I can give it to one class, or I can give it to all the classes, one student or all the students. Topic, I will say create a topic. This time it is computers reference material. So I just want to use a reference material here. And I say, when I go to post, again I have the same thing. Post, schedule, save, but I'll say, okay, post. So the minute I post, now the ones who have entered my class as a student, the ones who are already here, try to see whether you are able to upload anything for assignment. You will not be able to. But for an assignment, you will be able to. For material, you will not be able to. And the icons are completely different. And students realize this, that, okay, this is an assignment where I can upload my answer sheet, and material is only for reference. Going back on the classroom, the third form that can be created is a quiz assignment. Quiz assignment is nothing but it starts to create a Google form there and then. Rest, everything else is the same. The only difference being it starts to create an already inbuilt Google form. The minute I click on this, I can go and make a Google form, which I can make a quiz, I can make anything over there, write this, and it gets incorporated. That's the only difference. The fourth one that I want you to pay a little attention is on question. When you click on question, it will ask me, so I can ask, when is vaccine likely to come? Now, if I pose this question, now you have to make a choice whether what are these kind of questions you want to post them. You can ask them even feel good questions. How are you feeling today? Is everybody excited? Any such questions can do. How do you want them to answer? You can give them a multiple choice answer also. In that case, you will give them the 4 options here, or you can give them to write a short answer there. Those options are available. You can also add, sometimes this question comes very handy, like you ask them to watch a small video. So you attach a YouTube link here and make a question about that video. You can give them short answers or multiple choice, and then you post it up. Again, points, this is Dr. Chandrasekhar, this is dummy entry, so I can just make it for 5 points also here. I can give them a new due date. When you're posting a question, these are the new options that you're getting. Again, I am saying topic can be computer reference. Students can reply to each other and students can edit the answer. Whichever option you feel is more relevant to the question, you can pick, and then you again say ask. Here the options are ask, schedule, save. Schedule, save are the same option. The only option difference is ask. Ask means nothing but again a live streaming. So if you go back on the live stream page, you will see this question coming up. So the question icon will again differ. It says Lakshmi has posted a new question. When is the vaccine likely to come? Now the ones who are participants can just see how to answer this question. You will get a small answer and then you can, so whatever you are answering will start appearing here only in the stream page. So for younger kids, we normally keep the comment option off, but for higher children, you can just see how you would want to use these comments. So this is how classwork is used. The last option of using classwork is reusing a post. Now suppose I am teaching 5 classes, the same topic and the same assignment needs to go. I will go to reuse the post, click there, and it will ask me from which class do you want to reuse the post. Now suppose I want to say, okay, maybe I want to use some other, but there are no posts here, so I can't show you this one. Okay, so maybe I'm just picking up, I'll just show you this one. So reuse post is nothing but you pick up a post from any of these classrooms. Suppose for dummy I'm picking this one up. Now since it has no post, had there been post here, it would have listed all the posts. Then I could have selected create new copies of all attachments. Suppose that post has lot of videos or materials or any other form of attachment. I could have picked up all of it and reused it. And then it will appear in my classroom as a assignment. So that's the other option of using. Now if you see the topics that we had made, computer reference, they start appearing here on the left hand side. Okay. Show me a thumbs up to please let me know if we have any doubts here. You can put them in the chat box. Thumbs up if it is yes. Okay, so I'm just picking up 1 or 2 questions. It says it looks clear to everybody, so I'm also good to go. Great. How to create a Google form will take me away from the Google Classroom right now, Dr. Nidhi, so I will not be able to explain that right now. Miss Aruna is asking me, how do we give marks in a Google form questions? Ma'am, Google form has to be turned into a quiz to get, make marks to that, allot marks. But again, I will not want to deviate into Google Forms right now because Google apps altogether like Forms, Docs, Excel, each one of them is a huge arena. So if I pick it up, I'll be digressing from the topic. Okay, great. So now I will take you through my classrooms where there is lot of material for you to see so that you get an idea of how classrooms are being practically used. Just give me a minute. I'm just sharing my own classroom. Yes. So I will also show you 2 classrooms. One is where I am posting material and one as a student's view of receiving material. So you will get an idea for both the forms of classroom. Now this is an active classroom that's happening. This is a 6th standard classroom. And if you see, because Somaya educational domain is used, you see the Meet link, the Google Meet link starts appearing. But since it's a private email that we just made, so you didn't get that option there. Okay, so if you look at it, it is giving me an update of upcoming things. So upcoming means for my students, tomorrow Sanskrit work is due. On Sunday, some other work is due. If I view all, you will see a lot of all the work that has to be reviewed and that is being reviewed. So the minute we make corrections, it will start to tell me, okay, it is reviewed. Now, if you look at this, it is giving me all the work that students have been assigned with the due dates. Okay. And if you look at the right hand side option, it is also giving me all this work has to be reviewed. So many students have turned in. Turned in is a word used by when the assignment is submitted by the student. And so many had been assigned. That means teacher has assigned so many, but only these many have submitted it till now. So this is how my classroom upcoming looks. When I go on my stream page, if you can see all the announcements that need to be made.
Hello, Sunil sir.
Yes, ma'am.
The audio, the video is paused. मैम का network issue है कुछ.
Right. Technical
Just
issue.
coordinate with
Main
him.
call here.
I think I just got disconnected for a minute. Is it audible to everybody now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I was just taking you through my Somaya classroom and I was showing you that how some teachers have scheduled their announcements. So a teacher has scheduled the announcement for 16th because the teacher has a class on 17th at 8:30 in the morning. So for the week long, they keep scheduling their classes and it is a scheduled class. So only on 16th at 12 o'clock will this get live streamed. So like this, saved announcements appear. When you move to classwork, all the topics on the left hand side, if you can see all the topics, these are the basic categories under which students are getting their work. So there is some exam related folder, there is some creative writing folder, all the subjects are put up, there is celebrations and activities like this. So when you are allotting your assignment, you have to ensure that you're on the right hand side, you're picking up the correct topic. Then it will start appearing in that topic. And topic wise also you can go through this. If you can just see this page, all the topics are given and whatever has been done is given here. And I click on any of this, I can see what was written. So view material will show me the instructions, show me, okay, there was some schedule that was sent. All that can be viewed here. So this was about how your classwork looks. When I go to people, I will see the number of teachers who are a part of it. So I have about 20 teachers here. And below that, I have all the students with their email IDs. Now, suppose I want to pick up one student and write a mail. So I can just click on these three dots and email that student. So directly from my email, I can email. I can select a few students here and then see what I want to do, probably mail them or not. Otherwise, go to these actions for selected students. You can email them, you can remove them, you can mute them, unmute them. In a normal class, we keep all the students muted because I'm sure you will all understand this is a small K-12 section. So, but you can choose to mute or unmute. Otherwise, there is undue diversion from the main content if they're unmuted or comments are on like that. Now let's go to how the grades are given. So as a teacher, when I look at my names, all the names of my students appear here from the recent to the last. So from the most recent ones, I get, can I request everybody to please mute? Thank you. So from the most recent one, so this is 16th August is the most recent assignment that has gone. There are other assignments which are here and you can see the green means turned in. These assignments have been turned in by the students and the whole system appears here. Now suppose I want to go student wise, I can just pick up one student and check. So I can just sort their names also. I can sort based on first name, last name. I can look at one assignment. Each assignment shows me these three dots. Once I click, you will know that you can view a submission or return. Return word is used when I've, as a teacher, corrected and I send back the assignment. Then I use the word return. Okay, so this is how my classroom looks as a teacher. Now I would want to just stop for a minute, quickly put up a chat box questions in case you have any. Otherwise, we'll move on with how a student's viewpoint of a classroom. How does a student see these assignments and submit them back? Ma'am, Miss Hardeep, yes, the meet link remains the same. So if you've assigned one meet link, then every time the child can join in from the same. Okay, great. So I will now take you through one of the students' point of view of how it looks. So I'm just opening a student's classroom, so you will be able to see how a student sees the material and what a student does with the material. You'll have to just give me, can we please mute? Thank you so much. So here, while we are looking at students, I'm pulling out my own child's classroom, so that I think will be easy for all of you to see. Okay, so this is how my student's point of view of the classroom. You have everything more or less looks the same. What is different is you have stream, you have classwork, you have people, but you don't have grades here. Okay, and as I look at it, it again gives me upcoming. That means what all work is due. So when I click on that, this is how I get, okay, this is due, this is due, this is missing, this is assigned, this is returned. All that keeps on. So you turned in means the assignment has been submitted. So this is how the upcoming looks. I can also segregate an assigned work, returned work, missing work. I can keep segregating that. When I go back and I look at each classroom, each assignment that I get. So when I go back, every day in the morning, when I look at the stream, I get all the announcement. This is an invitation for a class. This is an invitation for a class link because we are using Zoom there. I want to show you one assignment where how the child, so this is all the link in the stream. So when I go to classwork, as a child, I can just pick up, maybe I want to do, maybe I just want to pick up one subject. So I can go subject wise also. So I just pick up science. Now these are the assignments that have been sent to me. There was one revision paper that was sent in form of Google Forms. Then there was some model answers that was sent. Then there was some other material that was sent. All this is fine. So now if I have to open a material and see, like, okay, so for example, if I, let me open some other which has material to write so that I can show you. Yeah. Yes. So if I'm asking you to, this is an assignment that I got. So this is how the student sees it. The student will see the assignment number, will see the due date, will see how many points have been given for this assignment. So if you say ungraded, it will start to appear here. Then these are the instructions that have been given by the teacher. So there was a column of instructions. These are the instructions that have come in. And then class comments, which are currently not needed. So when the child has looked at the work, it was said that you were supposed to write a question and all that. So the child has written his work and he's uploaded it here. He has the choice of unsubmitting his work. What the child has done already is that he's clicked, they give the option of upload assignments. You upload, pick up from your desktop, attach it here, and then you say mark as done. The minute the child says mark as done, on the teacher end, you receive it as turned in. And that's how. Now this is late because it is way beyond the due date. So what intimation notification I'll get in my email will also say 5 days after due date. So that's how the assignments look. Now the child can be looking at all the assignments and then submitting. For example, if I'm picking up something which has been recently sent, so currently there is no upcoming assignment. So because they had their exams, there are no assignments. Now when the child goes to people, he has this option of looking at the teachers who are here, and each of one of them email IDs are given here. And the child also has all the other peer email IDs here. So that's how we look at the classroom. Now, when an assignment comes in, the teachers have the option of correcting the assignments and turning them back. I will just take you through one assignment that I will just correct in front of you and show you how it is done. So if you can see, now this is the teacher view of an assignment. Okay. And here, if I look at, so I would want to pick up some English assignment because I'm taking English with this class. Even if I correct it in front of you, it will not be too much of an issue. Yeah. So if I go to the classwork and I pick up English here. Yeah. So if I suppose I picked up this assignment. Now this assignment said that you have to, there's a worksheet that was given to you. So if the minute I look at this assignment, this is how when I click, I get to see all students, how they are submitting their assignment. Most of them have turned in. Turned in means they have submitted their assignment. I can just sort by status and see that, okay, how many of them have turned in. So the minute I click, only the turned in assignments will come. When I click on each child's turned in assignment, for example, if I go on this girl's assignment and I want to see, 1 minute. Okay, this is probably an assignment that doesn't need submissions. So some assignments need submissions. Okay, for example, give me a minute. I'm just pulling out an assignment which I can show you has a submission attached to it. Yeah. So if you can see, these are all material. So I will not want to go on to material. Now this is notebook submission. So out of this notebook submission, when I look at this, I'll say view assignment. When I go on this assignment, I see so many have turned in and they have made attachments. Can you see there are attachments to this? So the minute I go on one of them, I can look at their assignment. Yeah, so this is how the window for assignment correction looks. So when I look at this assignment, this is what the child has submitted. And he's given me 2 pages here, right? So what I'm going to do is I have an option of opening it with any of these, or I can just write a comment here. Ideally, if you are going to use Google Classroom, it will be a great help if you can download a few extensions here for corrections. So while you can just add the comment here, I can just say, look at spellings or whatever I want to say. And once my comment is done here, so this is a random comment that I'm making. I will say comment. And I can also give in a private comment here, maybe good job, but a little more effort needed. And I say post. Once I post, the child will receive this comment. But once I return, the assignment will also go back to the child. So when I have to say, the option is return this submission, return multiple submissions. So I can choose to correct both these pages and then return multiple, but currently I'm only returning this. So it will say student will be notified and can check the grade. I will say, okay, return. So once I return, the child will get the work with my corrections. Also, if you look at the list here, there is a tick mark now that has come. Otherwise, it was turned in, assigned, and now tick mark. Tick mark means I have corrected and sent it back. So that is how I would, that is what was structured for the Google Classroom currently. And this is what I had to show. I will just take you back on my slides, which will be just like a quick recap of what all we have done today. Yeah. So this is what we were looking at. So while creating a classroom, this is how we created a classroom. Then we looked at the home page. After that, we have also looked at the view of teachers. We have made the settings for the, what are the kind of settings that we had to make for the classroom. How have we added the participants? Creating of assignments or announcements. How is assignment different from material? How is an announcement stream page different from classwork? How you make an assignment. This most elaborate is the assignment. Material is not that elaborate. And when you make an assignment, you have to look at all these options that are available. And after that, we've moved on to hands-on. So I'm open for questions now. So you can please let me know in case there are any questions. Yes. Why
Hello,
you are
ma'am.
not using, yes, so I'll go one by one. Yes, yes, Dr.
Yeah,
Chandrasekhar.
please, ma'am. There is, yeah, ma'am. It is my question to you that after creating the Google Classroom, how can we save all materials that we have posted? So, suppose a student want to save it into Drive, yeah, into computer, into PC or somewhere to save for some access. So how to save? Suppose it is easy to download PDF, but how to download videos and the all materials, other materials?
Sure.
This is the first
Ideally, if
question
you
of
have,
mine.
yes,
Please.
yes, Dr. Chandrasekhar, ideally, if you've made something in the Google Drive, then the option
Yeah.
of putting them down on your desktop is going to eat your disk space. So ideally, keep them on the Drive. The Google Classroom is accessible till the time the creator does not archive it. So for 1 or 2 years, that Google Classroom stays. As per the question of downloading
But
material
when,
and keeping it, all this material on a student
yeah,
front can be downloaded. All the material
yeah.
that you post can be
Uh,
downloaded.
download. Okay, thank you. And
Yes,
the
yes.
another one is, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
when we create the classroom and we want to show you we have created this classroom, Google
Right,
Classroom. So
right.
how can we show you we have created the classroom? How can we show?
Uh, Show me or show the student, sir. You can send me, if you're talking about students and participants, you have to send them the joining link. Or if you invite them as a participant, they will join and get an update in their email ID. That's how that joins in. Okay. I am taking a few questions from the chat box. Miss Shubhangi says, okay, sorry. Okay. I just want to pick up. Ma'am, can you explain how to give marks to the assignment? Say if the assignment is 10 marks and I want to 8 marks. Ms. Darshan, Mr. Darshan, please, you'll have to understand that rubrics has to be created. Now, to create a rubric, you will have to make a rubric in Excel sheet and upload. Then automatically, according to that rubric, marks can be generated. So if the rubric is for 10 marks, you will have to give, when will you give a child 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, or maybe when will you give a child 5 marks or 10 marks. Like this, a rubric has to be created. Mr. Farooq, how can we put the symbol of correct answers and wrong answers? I would suggest there are a lot of Google extensions that are available for download, free extensions from Google Chrome, which can be used for corrections. And that has a lot of stamp symbols, hand pens, airbrush. Sir, there's a lot of disturbance. Sir, there's disturbance from your audio. Shubhangi ma'am, why are we not using Google Meet? Yes, because the teachers, number one, have got very used to the Zoom platform. And second thing, we feel in a smaller classroom, like 30 students in a class, Zoom platform is very interactive. So we are with Zoom and not with Meet. Please suggest some extensions for correction. If you type Chrome extensions on Google, you will get lot of extensions, free extensions. These are like little softwares. DocHub is a very good free extension that you get. You can keep them on your systems and they help you with PDF annotators. Depends how your students are sending you the material. All this can be used for corrections. Meera ma'am has asked me, ma'am, can we grade the sheet scores incorporated in official result? Yes, provided the testing method is reliable and valid. If you feel that you are okay with the fact that students are giving online test or online filling up of Google Forms without being in front of you, you can take it in your official result. Okay, so I think I've answered. In case anybody has another question, please let me know.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I
Yes,
have
please go
another
ahead.
question. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Ma'am, when we upload the material on Google Classroom, so
Right.
how can we identify is it authentic or not?
Yes, sir. Now,
think,
Google
yeah.
Classroom also gives you a plagiarism check. Now, you can also pick up that document and go for a plagiarism check. Online plagiarism is checked. So there are lots and lots of softwares which can be downloaded, free software, where we can pick up your document. The whole document can be picked up, checked for plagiarism, and they will tell you that 20% is plagiarized, or 40% is, or maybe 100% is plagiarized. That's how mostly written articles are checked for plagiarism.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, Okay, so sticking to the time limit, I am done. If we don't have any more questions, uh, we can, of course, there is one more question which says between Zoom and Meet, which one is better and why? For Zoom, since we are hands-on on Zoom for last 7 months now, for us, Zoom works very well. Google Meet has just come in, but there are a lot of features where I feel Zoom works better in terms of, because we are interacting with K-12, younger level of students. So for us, making sure that the classroom is very engaging. We need to share screen, we need to have whiteboards, we need to have lot of other additional things, reaction buttons and all that, which Google Meet doesn't have. So for us, we work better uh, Zoom rather than Google Meet. But for an official high level, of course, we would really look at 11th and 12th. We can look at Meet, but currently we are all very comfortable with Zoom. That's the only reason we are sticking to this. Yes, sir. Dr. Sunil, how many ways to invite students? There are two separate ways to invite students. One through the code or the link that you're sending them. Other is through the email. Dr. Prashant, I will not be able to give you any inputs on WebEx and Team and their comparative study because I have not studied that at all. So for me, I'm just a user using it, but I've not gone in depth to collect any knowledge on that. So I will not be able to help you on that. Great, thank you so much. I will just quickly take a feedback from all of you where I would want you to please look at the same polling app that we had, and I would really
Hello.
want 2 minutes from you for a feedback. Yes,
Hello,
please.
ma'am.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
one question. Once we create the classroom, for how long the data will remain in it?
Till the time you don't archive it.
Okay. So it is a
Till the
permanent
time you do not,
Okay.
till the time you do not stop it,
Okay.
till the time you do not trash it, the data remains. And even next year, suppose you want to use the same classroom next year with a different set of students, you
Okay.
can do that also. Then you have to just say, make a duplicate classroom. All your material will get transferred into the new classroom except the people.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, namaste. Ma'am, could you please suggest some plagiarism check? Could you please list some plagiarism sites, ma'am, for checking and all?
Sir, if you go on Google, you'll find 101. So you just have to write down free plagiarism check. You will get lots and lots of them. Anyone that is free and online works very well with us.
Ma'am, and one more thing, ma'am, which mic you are using right now? Because your voice is very clear, ma'am. Please.
Sir, this is not a very specific mic. This is my distorted earphone. So these are my earphones, which I'm using it as a mic separately and close to my mouth. That is the only thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. So if you can all please log on to poll.ev.com and enter the username LakshmiVed711. It will take a minute for you to give me a feedback if that's comfortable with all. So the link is given right at the top of your screens. If you see, it is poll.ev.com and LakshmiVed711 is what you need to enter as the username, and you will be able to get this question. I have finished the session, so I am done. You can keep leaving your feedback here on this. If you don't feel comfortable, you can leave it in the chat box also. Thank you so much. So with this, I am done with the session.
Okay, thank you, madam. Good afternoon. I am Milind Tarap here from KJ Somaiya College of Arts and Commerce. And during the session, madam has answered all the questions. Being a teacher, she used to answer the question immediately. So she has answered all the questions, and very few questions are there. One is from my side that, Madam, if we give the access to our teachers also, can one teacher have the access on the material which is uploaded by the other teacher?
Yes, sir. Now, when I sit and I had shown you my classroom, sitting as an English teacher, I can access all the material, Sanskrit, social studies, arts, everything. So it's a common resource.
And can when we ask the student to submit the assignment, can they do some copy paste and like that and upload it?
One child is sitting in an isolation, that child will only be able to submit his work. He cannot see what the other child is submitting. So copy pasting from Google Classroom cannot happen. Copy pasting from Google Auntie can happen. So that's very much possible. So they can make an assignment through Google, copy paste, but in the classroom it is isolated. One child cannot see what the other child has submitted till the teacher shares everything with the students. So that way it is very secure.
One more question is there.
Yes, sir.
That is how to do the assessment of the assignment submitted by the student and how to grade it.
Yes. Now that I would have been very happy to consider that also as a part of the Google Classroom, but it's a huge system. So currently I can tell you that you can look at any Google extension that can be downloaded free of cost from the Google Chrome website, and the ideal ones that I would suggest that we are using is DocHub. That's a Google extension, so I can put it in the chat box for all of you. DocHub is one, and PDF Annotator is another one.
Thank you, madam. Now this is a time to propose the vote of thanks. So it is rightly said that if we focus on result, we will never change. But if you focus on change, you will get the results. So when you focus on the change, so this is a pandemic situation and everybody need to change themselves from offline to we come on the online, and Google Classroom is a very good platform, and madam has also explained it in very well manner how to have the access on the Google Classroom, how to, she has explained almost each and every aspect of the Google Classroom. And I take this privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the behalf of KJ Somaiya College of Arts and Commerce. I would like to thank Mrs. Lakshmi Vaid, who shared her precious knowledge with all of us. She highlighted all the points on Google Classroom which are beneficial for both teachers and students. Thank you very much, madam.
Most welcome. I just would want to say thank you everybody for being so patient and being so interactive. Thank you.
Thanks, madam. There are certain announcements for the participants. Assignment will be given in WhatsApp group by 7 p.m. today. Sufficient time will be given for submission of the assignment. Please fill the feedback form on or before 11:59, that is before midnight today. It is available on the Sydenham College portal, and all will meet again sharp at 2:30 for the technical session 2 on online evaluation tools. Thank you, everyone. Sunil sir, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Milind sir. Thank you, Sunil sir. Dear participants, we meet at 2:30 p.m. Now you may exit. Thank you so much. Sunil sir, you can end the meeting.
Yes, ma'am.